And thank you so much for joining us for this first edition of CBN News Watch for Friday, June 21st. I'm Ephraim Graham. Ahead today, the latest on the possibility of a retaliatory strike against Iran for striking down a U.S. surveillance drone. A major ruling when it comes to federal funding for abortions, helping fill the gap when it comes to doctors in some of the nation's rural areas. And the toys take over movie theaters this weekend. All those stories and much more ahead in this first edition of CBN News Watch. We want to begin this hour, though, with America's tense standoff with Iran. Sources say President Donald Trump approved retaliatory airstrikes against Iran for shooting down a U.S. surveillance drone, but then called them off. The New York Times reports it's not clear if the president just changed his mind or if the administration put a stop to the strikes because of logistics or strategy. The newspaper also reports it's not clear if the attacks could still happen. President Trump called congressional leaders to the Situation Room for an emergency briefing on the situation late Thursday. Lawmakers are split on what the next move, though, should be.
We're worried that he and the administration may bumble into a war.
The only way Iran changes its behavior is if they believe America will put options on the table that would create pain for the regime.
The Federal Aviation Administration has stopped U.S. commercial air traffic from flying over Iran because of safety concerns. That affects flights over the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. The ban is still in effect until further notice. CBN News reporter Mark Martin is following this story for us and joins us now with more on the situation in Iran. So, Mark, what is President Trump saying publicly about all of this?
Well, publicly, Ephraim, President Trump is saying that Iran made a very big mistake, and he's saying that he is not being pressured into making a military strike or calling for that. He says, in fact, it's just the opposite.
Any word from the Pentagon?
Yes, good question. The Pentagon is saying that this is an unprovoked attack on a U.S. surveillance asset that has not violated Iranian airspace at any time during its mission. Now, the attack is an attempt, the Pentagon also says, to disrupt our ability to monitor the area following recent threats to international shipping and the free flow of commerce.
So what's Iran's response been in all of this?
Well, Iran is saying, first of all, that the drone was in their airspace. And then also the ambassador for Iran to the UN tells NPR that it tried to contact the drone, but, quote, since it was a spy drone, that there was nothing left to do but to shoot it down.
All right. Tense situations unfolding there. Thank you so much for your reporting, Mark.
Sure.
A new trade deal between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico is closer to reality after a meeting between President Donald Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. That happened on Thursday. They met in the Oval Office to discuss the United States-Mexico-Canada Trade Agreement, or USMCA. It would replace the 25-year-old North America Free Trade Agreement. Earlier this year, President Donald Trump removed U.S. steel and aluminum tariffs on Canada and Mexico, clearing a roadblock to a North American trade deal. It is reported Canada is now waiting for the trade deal to move through the U.S. Congress before taking it up in the House of Commons.
What's the holdup on Capitol Hill?
What is the holdup on Capitol Hill? That's a great question. There's almost no doubt that there would be plenty of votes in the Senate to ratify this. The problem is in the House of Representatives, and as you know, that is now ruled by Nancy Pelosi.
President Trump says he believes Nancy Pelosi and the House will approve the deal because it is good for U.S. farmers and manufacturers. Rules that would stop clinics from receiving federal funding if they share office space with abortion providers stays in place for now. The Ninth Circuit Federal Court of Appeals made the decision over the Trump administration rules while it considers multiple lawsuits against it. Although this could be temporary, pro-life groups say it is a victory. The Alliance Defending Freedom calling it, quote, another step toward ensuring greater government program integrity and the protection of every human life, no matter how vulnerable. Planned Parenthood called it unethical, illegal, and harmful to public health. The president of the nation's largest abortion providers went on to say Planned Parenthood will not let the government censor our doctors and nurses from informing patients where and how they can access health care. A major religious liberty victory after a Supreme Court ruling regarding a memorial cross not far from the nation's capital. CBN's Abigail Robertson has more on the ruling and the reaction.
The Supreme Court issued a big win for religious liberty, ruling 7-2 that the Bladensburg Memorial can stand, a 40-foot cross honoring 49 men from the area lost in World War I.
The Supreme Court has sided with reality and sensibility.
The legal showdown started when the American Humanist Association challenged that the cross, sitting on public land, violated the separation of church and state.
When I heard they wanted to take it down, it struck at my heart. It was terrible.
The memorial is in the shape of a cross to mark most graves of the war's fallen across Europe.
There's going to be a presumptive constitutionality for these religious symbols and monuments and memorials and practices across our country. That's a sea change.
Kelly Shackelford, chief counsel for the First Liberty Institute, says the legal precedent in the case of the cross was flawed.
They said that everything's changing. This 50-year-old precedent, this Lemon case, where separation of church and state, and all these concepts that are not in the words of the Constitution were brought up, and that led to a lot of hostility by the government to religion. They said, and look, in these cases, Lemon is not going to be applied anymore.
At stake in the Peace Cross ruling was this dire scenario.
If this memorial is able to be destroyed, that means that bulldozer is going to turn from Bladensburg and roll across the river over to Arlington National Cemetery, where it'll start knocking down the Argonne Cross, the Canadian Cross of Sacrifice, and may even make its way down to Teddy and Bobby Kennedy's graves, which themselves have grave markers in the shape of a cross.
Shackelford claims the Lemon v. Kurtzman case of 1971 has been used to attack nativity scenes, veterans' memorials, menorahs, and Ten Commandments monuments.
So what's happening now is we're going back to the Constitution, which is favorable to religious freedom.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg, one of 2 justices who dissented, argues when a cross is on public property, the government may be presumed to endorse its religious content.
The founders would be shocked by that idea. We are a religious people with a religious heritage. There's a Moses holding the Ten Commandments in the Supreme Court.
First Liberty is also celebrating the High Court throwing out an Oregon court's ruling against their clients who refused to bake a cake for a same-sex wedding. Reporting from the Supreme Court, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Coming up, how a program in one California county could make a difference nationwide when it comes to health care for rural America.
Why hunch over your old-fashioned walker or rollator when you could be walking upright with the UpWalker? The original UpWalker is the safer and more comfortable way to get you up and on your feet again.
The UpWalker is revolutionary. You're able to walk upright and get a normal gait because your balance is there.
Before, you just look down, so you just feel down, but with the UpWalker, you're straight, you're tall, it feels great.
You know, when I was diagnosed with Parkinson's,